Okay. Lots to cover today. Let's hope this stays in position as it should. It's looking pretty good. Let's get myself some more stuff to make sure that it stays in position. Because one time, if you guys remember, once or twice, the thing would just fall, and then if it falls, that messes up the whole live stream. So I'm gonna put a battery and a couple other things behind it for the time being to make sure that it stays where it should without too much wobblage. And we should be able to get a search right away. Come on. Gotta find my goggles and do the same thing to make sure that I can fly. We are gonna try and test out one of the latest batteries today. One of the latest batteries will, great, at least in the goggles, it's already, we've got a nice picture there too. So let's put this camera here so you guys can see. Wow. I'm not sure if it's on the perfect channel there in the front. It kind of wobbles a little bit. So I'm not sure what that's all about. It's skewed. Did that do anything better? No, that made it a whole lot worse. Let's redo the search. On some of these things, sometimes the auto search is the best you're gonna get. Okay, so anyway, this over here, I guess we're not gonna get any better than that, I guess, today. This is the battery that I want to test out for you guys. It is the GN3 Flight Power LiPo 660 by Gaoneng. Is it Gaoneng? Gaoneng. I will not get the tones right, trust me. So let's see how we do. Right now I'm flying with these, the Beta FPV batteries, 450 mAh. We'll do a couple of flights with those to get ready, and then we'll try the other battery to see how it compares. Let's get up and running. We are at my favorite spot where I like to fly. It works better if you turn on the remote, of course. There we go. I hope I'm not in acro because that would not be good for the first flight. We are in angle mode. That would be horizon mode, and that would be air mode. We want to be in angle mode, so we'll stay there, grab those engines, and get up in the air. It tells me low battery right off the bat because they're a little bit puffy. But what are you gonna do? These batteries are unfortunately not the best. So you can only get what you can out of this. And looks like I'm about to lose signal and down because the battery wigged out. Luckily I know exactly where it is. Let's shut off the engines because we always should. When you crash, remember to switch off that engine so that you don't destroy the motors, and you can turn on the beeper if your drone has a beeper. Let me go collect that real quick and we'll switch out the battery and try again. As you can see, the reason why I bought the new Gaoneng from GaonengBattery.com is because hopefully they'll last longer than these ones. Okay, so we'll do a quick switcheroo with the battery. This is one of the issues that I've seen with a lot of quads is when there's one battery alone running the visuals, the cameras, and also running the motors. When you experience that battery sag, then you lose vision, which is the worst, right? Because if you are flying FPV, you only have goggle vision and not goggle vision and line of sight. And so the second that happens, you're dead in the water. So I tend to try to aim for a grass area and then drop the motors immediately. A lot of people like to just push on the throttle and get up high and whatever, but if the problem is battery and not just penetration issues, then you'll just probably just lose your quad, which is not great. Nobody likes to lose their quad. So let's go for fight 2. We have another battery. This one seems to be full. The other one, I guess, is dead. I probably should throw it up. Chances are it could catch fire and all that kind of stuff. It's just too puffy. But I've had these batteries for a very long time, so you know, it's just a matter of what happens in real life. You know, like, things will eventually fall apart. It's the nature of using stuff. Oh no, I was wrong. It's just as bad as the other one. I thought this one would be better, but it isn't. So anyway, here we are. We're gonna try not to lose the quad, and we are getting something out of this, but not much. And there we go. We started to lose it, and then we have it again. So that's good and bad both at the same time. Low battery wants me to land. So in the third attempt, we will have the other Whoa! In the third attempt, we will have the other battery. I think I have enough power to get back to where I'm supposed to go. And again, I'm not scared of this thing hitting me because it is so super light that it's just a-okay. So there we are. I'm gonna try to land it on right behind me so it'll be easy for me to catch, and I don't have to just run around and get it. So here we go. And then switch off the motors. Donely done, as they say. Donely done. Now, unfortunately, won't be able to do much so that you guys can see, but this battery is a little bit thicker. Not by much, because as you can see here, you know, this is really puffed up and it still fits, but this will squish into position. This is a little bit less likely to squish, so when I try to stick this in the battery compartment, it does not fit. So I'm gonna have to use these kind of things here to just wrap it in place. Or I've also brought, just in case that doesn't work, elastic bands. We'll have to see which works better. And just attach it underneath the quad. Because as you can see here, this battery is slightly wider than the other one, and also slightly puffier, not puffier, but fatter than this one. Even though this one, you see, if I press on it, it'll sort of compact. This one is just very tight the way it is, different kind of packaging or whatever, so it will not budge. And when I try to put it in, it just will not. So yeah, this is the battery that I'm talking about. So we'll give it a try and see what happens. In the meantime, let's see what we can do here. Not a whole lot can be done at this point, but you guys can enjoy the panorama over there, because we are going to lose sight of what is going to happen for a couple of seconds. There's not much I can do. So bye-bye that, and I'm going to try to set this up. So while we wait, we could talk about what's going on with the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room, you guys know, follow the channel, is Twitter. So I will definitely not snark about Twitter and layoffs, because I don't do that. What I will say is this, and it's brutal. It's brutal what's going on at Twitter, but at the same time, you know, I've lived through a similar experience with my father. He was a very, very successful corporate guy, and he worked for this guy Bertarelli, and during that time, and Bertarelli was his mentor, perhaps even in some ways one might call him his father, the father that he always wanted, really. So So when he was laid off from that company, it was brutal. It was brutal. And again, the only reason why he was laid off wasn't because he'd done something wrong. It's because his son, Bertarelli's real son, had a different vision for the company. Now, I don't know if the vision that he had was better or worse for the company or anything like that. All I knew as a child was that my dad got the boot. And that ended up being the beginning of the end for us, because we ended up, moving around a whole lot more. My dad had to move from company to company. It was no longer a stable lifestyle, and we were no longer in the US. So we had a nice thing going when we were all in the US, and then we moved to Switzerland, and then this whole mess happened, and then it was a big tragedy after that. In some ways, things did recover and get to a sort of an okay situation, but in other situations, it was not all that great. So on one hand, when we look at this whole Twitter thing, you can say it's brutal. On the other hand, we can see that maybe Elon Musk has a certain idea, certain vision for the company that he could not do because of the people that were working there in the way that he wanted it to run. So I can see there's some merit there, but at the same time, this is really, really brutal, what is going on. So again, I will not snark about that, because I've lived firsthand what it means when people just get completely fired out of the blue, and then it just uproots it up. It changes basically the lifestyles of everybody who is being supported by the job that is being done by the parents, whoever is in charge of that. So looks like the battery is in place. It might give the quad some very, very strange flight characteristics, the way that it is set up, and that I may not like, so I might not be able to fly this all that well. But we're gonna give it a shot anyway, and we'll see how that goes. The only silver lining that I can see at this point for the people who got fired is that when you're a coder and you lose your job, it is not like when you are an artist and you lose your job. I would know. Once I lost my job as an artist, and I was not fired, I literally had to quit because of physical conditions. I mean, my carpal tunnels and my back and all that stuff had gotten so bad that I couldn't even hold a mouse in my hand, either of them, because as a ambidextrous individual, meaning that I could work with left and right, I had gone and switched over and over to try to limit the amount of pain that I was going through. Well, eventually it caught up to me to the point where both of my wrists had become unusable, and so I had to quit my job and take a long rest, and then move to America, where I thought that after taking a master's degree, my life would be better. But after that, I was never able to find a stable job again. So for the Twitter people, on the other hand, as a coder, I think that the opportunities will be better for them. So that's the only silver lining that I can think of. And I'm going to lose my quad because I've lost vision in the goggles altogether. So that sucked on every possible level. And the battery holder on the quad. So I don't know if you guys got lost vision on what was going on over there, but I definitely lost vision in my goggles. Let's see. I don't know if I'm on the right band or whatever it is, But the fact that I lost vision in my goggles did not help. I'm gonna see if I can get another pair of goggles to run, but the battery holder at the bottom of the quad just snapped. It just broke. So that's not good. So again, when you're testing things and you're trying new things, part of the stuff that's going to happen is you will break stuff, and boy did that not end well for the quad. So now I have to try to disconnect the whole thing as best as I can and try some other method of holding this together, because that was bad. Let's just put it out there. Yeah, that was horrible to the next level. And although we can see that the battery is holding up great, it flew. What's going on is not good. Not good. I'm sorry if you guys end up throwing up your breakfast, but right now I'm just trying to get the battery. Okay, maybe it's better if I disconnect it altogether from there. I'm trying to just get this back up and running. So right now you got static because I had to remove that, so I'm going to give you guys a nice view over here again. I apologize for this. Well, actually, you guys, if you wanted to see what I was trying to do, but again, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see what I'm doing here. I could try to do this. This could be a disaster. This could be disastrous. I don't even know if you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to attach, and if you can see what I'm doing, you'll notice that this thing here just popped off and broke off. So theoretically now, if I wanted to, I could stick this in here and it would fit. Yeah, maybe it would. But then I'd have to break this bit here, which I don't have a tool to do that. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to double check which way this goes. It'll go like this. And I would just try to use the elastic band once more to just attach it like that. Again, if this thing takes another big hit on the concrete, that will not be great. So what we'll try to do is we'll do the elastic band going through here once. Come on, man. Get through. Get through there. So yeah, that's a big thing here, guys. The big thing is if you are a coder and you lose your job, it is brutal. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be brutal. But eventually, it is a skill that is in high demand, and some other company, even maybe a smaller one, might decide to snatch you up because they're like, whoa, you've been working at Twitter for however many years, you must be good, and then they'll take you. They'll take you. If you lose your job as an artist, well, you may never work again. So that's why artists tend to take all kinds of crappy jobs, and sometimes, and for a very long time, like for a very long time before I found a decent job, I was just working for free. Working for free. Was my time supposed to be valuable? Sure, but I couldn't get anything, so I worked for free. Now, in hindsight, if I were to go back and tell my younger self whether to work for free or not, I would tell him, don't do it. It's stupid. It is stupid. Never work for free. If you've got any talent at all in what you're doing, never work for free. It's not going to get you anywhere unless, we're talking about working for a very high, like if you work for free for like something like Sony, and they're willing to let you let you say that you're working for Sony in your resume, that might mean something. So that's not too bad. But if you're going to work for a no-name company, don't work for free ever. Just don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. You're just going to end up with working and doing a whole bunch of stuff, and you've got nothing to show for it. It's just not worth your time. Don't do that to yourself. Okay, this is back up and running the best that I can have it. Like this. It is not good. Not good, but it's what we got. we'll go with it. And I do have a separate spare pair of goggles here. See if we can get these ones to hone in on the channel better than the other ones did. Let's see what we've got here in the visuals. Let's get this back on. So remember, if you are young and you've just finished your degree, and a company is gonna just mess with you and wants you to work for free, don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Unless, again, as I said, unless they are a top company, in which case it may be worth your time. Like right now, for instance, if let's say a top company like, I don't know, Nemus, what's top? Bank of America, something that you know is never going to go out of style, wants to give you a job, then that might do something useful. All right, let's see if we can get this bird in the air and what we can do with it. All right, a 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3, armed, and up we go. I do have decent vision right now, so that's cool. Are we able to get a nice shot? Now the wind has picked up, which is extra cool. So that was cool. Loving that. I'm not sure why this thing always gives me low battery no matter what I'm flying. Maybe I wasted all the battery trying to get things to run. It tells me to land now. Brand new battery. So maybe the battery wasn't fully charged or whatever. But we're getting very nice signal from this battery. And a very beautiful flight out of this. At least in the goggles, it's looking really beautiful with the flags. So hey, I am quite happy with this. What a beautiful day to fly. And I'm glad that the flags are back up there in the sky. That's cool. I had better get closer to ground and land now before I destroy this battery too. But we got a definitely better quality video out of this and a better overall performance. So there we go. There we go, guys. So I'm liking these batteries. These new batteries, at the very least, are doing a better job. I have destroyed the quad to a certain degree, and but at least it's pretty good what's going on here. It's pretty good what's going on here. So I'm satisfied with that. I might try a different quad and see what we can get out of that one. But yeah, I'm quite satisfied with this battery here. I can tell you guys it is a decent battery. I don't know if I haven't fully gone as far as I could have. It's just saying hi to a nice person and just showing up. But yeah, I'm liking this. So let's try a different quad real quick. I do have a whole bunch of other things like remote. And I do have my Happy model over here. Another quad that you guys know that I love to fly so much. I destroyed the props on this thing so many different times because trees have the D factor, and the other time there was a metal umbrella. I thought it might have been cloth, and I took too many risks, and the props just couldn't. They just couldn't. They just couldn't, and so they didn't, and that was it. That was it for that. But anyway, right now we're going to try to switch signals. So for the time being, again, I'm going to let you guys take a look at this beautiful and peaceful scenario over there. We will disconnect the battery from the quad and connect a new battery to the other quad, and we'll see how that goes. I hope the other battery is fully charged so we don't end up having the same kind of issues we just had. And I don't remember which way the battery goes. I think it goes this way, but we'll never know until I stick it in. We've turned on the remote so that we can pilot this thing. And I think I did it correctly because I'm hearing the correct sounds that I wanted to hear from this thing. And we need to do a search for the channel to make sure that we get it in there in the goggly goggles. And no, that's not. That was the beeper. I'm gonna have to figure out what is angle mode here, because it's a little different. Every time you switch over to a different quad, it's gonna be just a teensy bit different. It's doing that funny thing, I'm not sure why. Let's try this for a second. It still hasn't caught the search and find. Come on, man. I'll have to do search and find on my other goggles too. It is not finding the channel. That is beautiful. That is beautiful, guys. In a very ironic, non-comical kind of way, it is beautiful. Let's see. Do I have to manually find? Oh, I felt like we kind of had something there. No, we're still way off. Manual search. This doesn't usually happen, guys. Usually I get the channel right away, and it's a beautiful thing. But the auto searching is not working very well right now. It is struggling with. Oh, we've got the channel. Yay, we've got the channel. That's good. That's good news right there. But now what we don't have is controllability on the remote. The remote is not giving me anything. So although we've got decent video on everything, we do not have the ability to start taking off. And I would like to be able to take off. It's giving me some kind of error. So we're gonna lose visual signal once more for a second. And I'm gonna let's try this again. Give me something. I don't know what that's about. Right now we're in acro, which is bad. Stability mode. We do have battery, right? There's battery in there. It's not starting up the motors for some reason. I do not know why. We've had this problem in the past, but I'm not sure why this is doing what it's doing. Usually you just disconnect the battery and then connect it up again a few times, and it'll let me put some goggles on and see. It says it's armed, so I don't know what happened with that. We're fine. Okay, there we go. We are in perfect shape, so okay, that's good. Let's bring the quad back to me very gently. Okay. I'm gonna put it down real quick to make sure that everything's working. and a quick disarm. It looks like everything is working the way that it should. Okay, awesome. I forgot to turn off the remote for my beta flight, so beta FPV, not beta flight. So we'll turn that off and make sure everything else is running, and we'll be back in the air in a second. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, armed and ready, and up we go. We'll take this nice and slow, like I like to get this nice and slow. Go take a look at that flag again. So beautiful. We still have plenty of flight time on the battery, which is great. Look at that, that is beautiful. I absolutely love flying in this spot. It just, look at that. It's just beautiful. That is just beautiful. If anybody knows what the other flag is, please do leave it in the comments. I would love to know. I would love to know. It is just so much fun. Great morning to do this. Great morning to do this, guys. I love this spot. You can check out this whole area here. It's just beautiful with the trees. I would go looking for squirrels if I could, but I don't have the skill level to pull that off. I don't have the skill level to pull that off, or the ability to zoom well enough to be able to do that. But this spot, you guys know, with the sun going through the trees, is just absolutely amazing. And again, this, as I said before, is one of my most favorite drones because of how incredibly accurate it is, and how incredibly easy it is to fly. Again, this is in stability mode. I am not doing acro. I am not doing anything amazing like the experts do. I'm just having fun. And for some people that's cool, for some people that's not cool. Everybody has their own opinion, and that's perfectly fine. So long as you're having fun and you're the pilot, then, and you're not doing anything crazy or dangerous, then you should be able to do this and have fun. So anyway, great morning, great trees, great everything. Let's try to make sure that we don't get in the way of the D factor, because that would be bad. You're just cruising. Just cruising. Look at that. Nothing could be more fun than just cruising. I could do this all day long because it's just fun. So long as the battery continues to survive as it does, it's just fun. It's just really fun. Don't want to go too far away because I might lose signal, so we'll just relax and come in pretty soon for a nice landing. We don't want to overdo it just in case something happens, but just smooth, just flying through the groove, having a fun time. Beautiful flag. Those trees, everything is beautiful today. Loving it. It's beautiful today. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm definitely not unstoppable, like in the song, but I feel happy. There's nothing like getting behind the sticks and flying around and having a good time like we are right now. Experiencing a little bit of a tumble there, but that was my fault, and it's because the battery is getting low. So we will just gently get up and get back to where I am. Let's see if we can do that. The quad is experiencing vision issues, beta flight issues, so I'm gonna just go pick it up. It should be pretty close to where I am right now. I'll just go pick it up. Let's see where it went. It was very close. It should be somewhere right here. There it is. Look at that. And again, I decided not to just pick it up and go randomly or go really high off the ground just in case I could destroy the props. And as you can see here, the props are fine. This thing has a great beeper on it and no scuff marks or anything on the battery. Battery seems to be okay, so we're good. We are going to just go ahead and turn this off, and that'll be it for today, guys. Disarm the engines right away. That's one thing that I forgot while I was doing that, to disarm the engines. But this was a really fantastic morning for me, and again, I really appreciate it to everybody who's following, and thank whatever people thank these days, whether it's God, energy, or whatever it is, the Force, if you are a Star Wars fan, for the opportunity to be out here and have a really great time. And I hope you guys had a fun time with me, so I will see you all in the next one. Take care, guys.